Oh, my beautiful people, I've missed your faces, I really have. And this is a little bit different. We're doing this differently. Your learning's a bit different. And also, we'll be chatting a little bit differently. I don't get to see how you feel on your faces. I don't get to hear any of your questions to discuss things that are interesting to you or to your teachers. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a talk just to remind you about different things to keep us all back on track, because these are really strange times, and it's okay to feel that they are strange, because they simply are strange times. But we've got to make the best of this with everybody. Everybody is doing the best that they can do. And what we have to do is just be mindful on how we're feeling and how the people in our household are feeling, because we've been stuck in together, which we don't normally do. Normally, we're out doing different activities, keeping very busy, your parents being very busy, you being very busy. So we can look at this as like, this might be a really great time for us just to slow down, just to really, really slow down, maybe being happy that we've got this time. Now, I got to speak to some of you before this all happened, and I wanted to tell everybody, as many people as I could, that your job is not to worry. The adults in your family are the ones that need to do any of the worrying and any of the direction. They'll do that. Your job is to be happy, because when you're happy, when you're not worried, that's going to really, really help the adults around you. And I want you to imagine that the adults around you have a bucket, and in that bucket is water, and that water is their worry. Now, they might only have a little bit of water in there, or they might have a lot of water in there. But the idea is for you not to add more water in there, to take water out of there, even if you can. Like taking water out of an adult's bucket might be listening to what they tell you to do when you need to do it. Making sure that when you get toys out, that you put them away before you start another activity. Being on time. It's a really great idea to keep in a bit of a routine. So going to bed on time and getting up on time to what you're used to is a really good habit to do. Is to make sure that you get in the shower, and there's going to be some things that you can do at home that you can't do at school. For example, wear your slippers when you're doing your schoolwork. That's something different. And look at those things and think, well, that's pretty cool. I get to do those things that I don't normally get to do. Finding all those positive things in the day that you can see, that's going to make you feel happy, and also the people around you. And taking water out of their bucket. So adding water into their bucket would be adding worry into there. So fighting with your siblings, that would be something that would add water in there. Trying not to do any fighting is a really cool idea for everyone, because it is a bit of a stressful time for everybody. So your job is just to be really happy, to do what you're asked to do, follow instructions, because anybody that's looking after you at the moment is looking after you the best they can with what they've got, because some parents don't have work at the moment, and that's going to add water into their bucket, because they need to pay for things. They're needing to learn different ways of educating you at home, which they've not had to do before. So there's lots of different things that they're organising, but you don't have to worry about that. That's what they worry about. What you worry about is just you being happy. That's all you have to worry about. So how are some different ways that you can be happy? Well, looking after yourself, being really kind to you. If you're having a time where you're feeling a little bit low, or you're not feeling really happy, is perhaps getting a journal out or a diary and writing in there how you feel, talking about how you feel, because that's something you don't want to push that down into your body. Because if you're pushing it down in your body, it's going to come out at some stage as some explosion, which might look like fighting with your siblings or not doing what you're told, or something like that. And it really is that you've pushed down some worry in your body. So getting that worry out's a really great way. And I look at it like a volcano. Like whenever I've said to you before, if you need to have a cry, have a cry. It's like letting that lava out of your body. So being kind to you is really important. Making sure that you go to bed, you go to sleep. If you're laying down and sleeping and you're worrying, that's not going to be a good thing. So listening to a mindfulness, going online, there's plenty of different ones. I'll do ones for you because I know that you're used to my voice, and that would be a great thing for you to hear something that's familiar, which is something really awesome that your school's provided for you, so that you'll be able to do that. But going to bed of a night time, when those worries start coming, we've talked about all different ways, going into a security room or going to a place that's beautiful or making up your own planet, keeping your mind occupied with things that make you feel happy. And if that might be animals, well, then animals would come into it. If it's riding a motorbike, that would come into your happy thoughts. So you think about things that make you happy. When I was younger, I loved my Barbies. So I used to, in my brain, build a Barbie palace, and I would put different rooms there, and I'd have different wardrobes and clothes, and that's what I did. So if you're into building, you might be doing a building in your brain out of Lego and creating something really different and exciting. So that could keep you happy and help you get to sleep at the same time. So there's a lady that I used to study with, and her name is Lou, and Lucinda Light, her name is, and I'll add her link down below. But she does really creative ideas with kids. It's a beautiful community and a beautiful club. So if you're wanting to do something like that, that would really help. Being creative is really good at keeping you happy, especially when you find something you love to do. So if you love to draw or colour in, then take that time to be kind to you when you need to, when you've got time. And we've got plenty of time. That's what we've got at the minute. So taking advantage of that and thinking, okay, well, what's really going to make me happy? Maybe learning something new. So if you are into drawing, maybe learning how to draw a dragon or a really awesome eyeball, or building if you're into building, or if you're into basketball, maybe learning different skills online, and maybe might like to make your own movie, start your own channel on YouTube, which I'm learning about right now. I'm finding really tricky to do all this technology stuff, but I'm getting around it, and I'm learning something new, which is very cool as well. Okay, I've got some notes here just to help. Learning something new could be learning new magic tricks as well. Like, magic tricks are pretty cool, and that makes people happy. Writing your own book. Write your own books. That would be really cool. And I would love to see some of these afterwards. Any of these creative projects, I would love to see them. Okay, also too, being okay with doing nothing and just spending time with yourself. Like, not being hard on yourself, and noticing that when other people are being hard on themselves in your family, and reminding them, don't be hard on yourself, be really kind to you, because this is a really great time to learn how to do that, how to be really kind to you and keep yourself, in that happy spot. If you can do that. And if you can't do that, being okay with, I can't do that at the moment. That's being kind to you, being accepting of yourself. Do mindfulness. Mindfulness is really, really going to help you. If you remember, in our brain, we've got all these little connections going off called synapses. And when we practice something over and over again, we get that really strong connection. And when you get that really strong connection, it means that you're starting to master something. But if you're practicing how to worry, you're going to be really good at that. So if you can practice to be calm, by doing mindfulness, then that's going to be a nice strong connection in your brain. Anything that you're doing, whether it be negative or positive, is creating a strong connection. So think about that and have that in your mind. Like, do I really want to be really good at this? And if you do, keep practicing. Do what your adults tell you to do. That's pretty important too, because you might not think that there's any reason to do something, but they will know the reason. Keeping your room clean, you'll think, well, why do I need to keep my room clean? It doesn't matter, I'm not going anywhere. But it helps with that organisation, and it helps with you feeling good and happy about yourself. So following directions are a really, really cool thing as well. And that also will take water out of their bucket. Dancing, music, doing all of those things really create happy bugs in your brain and is going to make that connection nice and strong. Look online for some positive stories. Like, there's many different positive stories. I've told you a few of them when we've been in class. Are different stories about how people have come across different adversities, like Nick without any arms and legs, and how he does things differently, and how he's made his life happy. So looking at those type of things also helps us really appreciate and be grateful for what we've got as well. Don't stay on your PlayStation and your Xboxes too long. I'm not saying don't be on them, because that's where some people will find that some joy is playing that, but don't stay on it a long time, because a lot of the games that are on there are quite violent and can be quite negative. So we don't want to sit in that negative feeling, the whole time. So taking time to go outside, getting some sun, breathing fresh air, getting active, and that might mean that you have to do something in your backyard by riding a push bike around, or bouncing a ball, or might be just running up and down, or playing with your siblings, jumping on a trampoline, doing those type of things with whatever you've got. I know when my boys were in the country, they used to build things like make little jumps for their bikes, and cubbies in the backyard out of just sticks and things that they can find. We were in the country and we had some property, so they could do that. But just find things that you can do that can keep you active, because that's really important too. Making sure that you're eating properly. Healthy food, because we're wanting to keep our bodies as healthy as we can right now, and doing that is also looking after yourself and being kind to you. So keeping that in mind, that you want to be kind, and going to sleep on time and waking up, of course, is also being kind to you as well, and keeps you in that routine. So I hope that you're all doing really well, which I know you are, because you're all awesome kids. Every kid that I've met with both schools that I work at are really, really cool. You're great kids. So if you can remember that you're really an awesome person, and that everybody is just doing the best that they can do right now, that your job is just to be happy and not to do any worrying, then that will help everybody in the world. It's a big job, but I know you can do it. Take care, everybody, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.